Hey, how's it going, guys? It's TheLlamaSir here, and welcome back to another Rocket League video. And in this one, guys, we're going to be going over the second of the brand new Turbo Crate mystery decals, Tora. That's right, guys. So I've been doing this kind of showcase things for all of the other items in the brand new Turbo Crate, so I thought I might as well finish it off with Tora. I wasn't exactly sure if I even wanted this decal, but after messing around with it quite a bit, it is actually very sick. It's starting to grow on me, and I just thought I would make this video for those of you who are thinking about trading for it. You get to see exactly what it looks like, all of the customizations, all of the cars that it looks best on, and overall just how to make it look as good as possible. But anyways, as always, if you enjoyed today's video or learned something new, be sure to leave a like down below. And without further ado, let's jump into it. Alright guys, so first of all, starting out with the kind of price at the moment, and I honestly thought that this decal would kind of drop in price fairly significantly, but I was a little bit surprised to see that it's holding its value fairly well. Now, I don't know if that's because just the Turbo Crate items by themselves are really sought after at the moment, and it seems like every single one of them is holding their value, but this one is still sticking to it. It's not nearly expensive as 20XX, and generally it goes for a price of around Heatwave, sometimes below that, but most of the times you're going to be trading a little bit higher than that. And that's kind of how I got it. I traded a Goalkeeper Endo, a Labyrinth, a Turbo Crate, and 5 other crates, so about a Heatwave-ish for this decal, and it's honestly not that expensive, but it does actually look really good. Now, as you can see here, if you haven't seen it before, it's one of those decals that is really subtle. So this is kind of like what a lot of people weren't very sure about this decal, and what makes it not quite as sought after as 20XX. It's just that it has this very subtle animation to it. Now, with every single other black market decal, we're very used to these flashy animations, ones like Heatwave that you can kind of see from across the field, but this one is a lot more subtle, and a lot of people actually kind of like that. It's one of those that you can still recognize from across the field just because of the like tiger stripe to it, but you're not really going to be seeing that animation as much, but it is still a very recognizable one. But getting into the cars it looks best on here, and this was what actually surprised me quite a bit, but the decal itself doesn't wrap around the corners. So what I mean by that, if you go up to like Heatwave or something, the way that Heatwave works is it wraps around those sharper edges of the car, as you can see here, but as with Tora, it actually doesn't do that. It kind of does it a little bit, but it more just kind of blends in with the flat parts of the car, and this is why on the Dominus GT it actually looks really good. Now, I was pretty surprised on this one because, again, if you go over to Heatwave just looks pretty freaking bad on it. But then if we go back to Tora, it actually looks amazing, and that was actually a pretty big surprise. Now, with that being said, you definitely want to use a car that has a lot of space for it to be seen, so like the Backfire, probably not the best choice, the Gizmo, stuff like that, but it does look best on ones like the Endo, the Dominus, not so much the Octane. It's fairly subtle on the Octane, that's a little bit disappointing, but then on ones like the X-Devil and the X-Devil Mark II, it actually looks really good. So yeah, keep in mind that those are the main cars that it looks best on, so a lot of popular cars besides the Octane, it definitely looks amazing. Now, as for the colors, they're pretty straightforward. You can pick 2 of them on each side, and there are some very interesting customizations that you can go through. Now, one little tip about this decal, if you want to see more of that animation, that more like transparent sort of movement throughout, definitely go with a primary lighter color and then choose your accent to be a very dark version of that, because as you can see here with the dark, you can see a lot of the lines very clearly, but then when you go back up to the lighter, it goes away pretty quick. And then if you go even to white over here, you can still see it, but you definitely want that contrast to make that animation pop out even more. So with that being said, my favorite colors on this, if I go back to my titanium endo right here and then go back to the colors, I really like this blue. So I've got the lightest kind of like sky blue right here, and then the darkest of that light blue down here, and that just makes it pop out really well with the titanium white endo and of course the zombas, and that animation is actually pretty strong on this one. Now, as for the red one, I have the similar thing going with the bright red, and then the darker version of the red down below to get that contrast, and overall creates a very nice looking car. Now, if you want to get creative with it, you can maybe do like a lime-ish variant right here. Again, it kind of loses those colors, but if you do like lime zombas with that, it's definitely very interesting. It really does actually look pretty nice. It's a little harder to match the lime for some reason, but there are some very interesting combinations you can do. If we do like yellow and like a darker orange, very interesting, kind of has this fire feel to it, but there are definitely a lot of customizations you can do, and I'll just kind of scroll through all of them so you can get a glimpse. And then if we do like a pink actually looks pretty good on this one as well, with the white, and maybe you do like the bubble gum with it, purple, greens, yellows. It's a very interesting decal, and there's definitely a lot of cool customizations for it. But enough time talking about how these colors look just in the garage. Let's take a look at how they look in a private match or just in-game by itself. So let's get into a match right here. Join the blue side, and as you can see, when you're a little bit farther away than like right up close, you can't see that animation as much. You can make it out if you're looking very closely, but if you're not like right next to it, it's just a little bit hard to see that animation. Now again, it's very recognizable just for like the tiger stripes going along with it, and that's probably how you will get it noticed most often in game. And it does look really cool just by itself like that, but if you're boosting forward, that animation, you're not going to be able to see it. So just keep that in mind. It's kind of like hexed. The animation is just sort of hard to notice in game. So if we go into the little replay right here, freaking solid goal. Again, you can't really make out the animation, but the decal itself is very noticeable. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope this was helpful. If you're deciding to look for this decal, start trading for it, this is exactly what you're going to get, and I hope that helped you guys out. Now, if it did help you, be sure to leave a like down below because it does only take a second and it always helps me out a ton. And do not forget to subscribe, as well as check out some of my previous videos coming up on the screen right now, including a 40 turbo crate opening, as well as my 4th compilation of some of the most amazing goals scored by pros. But other than that, guys, again, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm TheLlamaSir, and I will see you guys next time.